Now, this podcast shows how to create a workspace in C9, c9.io. You've got an invite, and this shows you, we'll be using it, by the way, this semester for you to host your final website. It could also be used, though, to experiment with your labs and your weekly assignments. It's basically an online XAMPP environment that you can take anywhere with you. And so let's go and get started, and I'll show you how to create your first workspace. First thing you want to do is click on this Create a New Workspace button. Project name needs to be all lowercase. Description is not required, but you can put something in there. You are RVC Web Devs, you'll leave that as is. The hosted workspace area here, you'll leave it as is. Yours will always be public, which should come up default. You won't need to put anything here in the clone. There is other templates to choose from besides PHP, Apache, MySQL that we'll be using, and you're more than welcome to play with these other templates. I'm going to go and click on this PHP, Apache, MySQL. Click Create Workspace. And this is basically like setting up your own web server, a physical web server. So each workspace is like a physical web server for your development uh, while you're developing code for that task. This workspace can be shared with others. It's not really designed to be a live website in production. It's for developers only to develop websites. So anyway, you'll notice here on the left side is the folder structure of the C9 where it says workspaces. Navigate is the files within C9 within this environment. And commands is some commands that I will not be going over this semester, but you can learn some of these commands as you go on and read the documentation in the support area. We'll be just using it as you are currently using with like your Notepad editor, Notepad++, and Text Wrangler. On the right over here is collaborate, where you can invite others to your workspace to collaborate. There's even a group chat feature. Um, Outline is basically you could outline the project task, and then debugging is for debugging purposes on using processes, resources, and things of that nature. So as soon as you start a Cloud9 PHP, MySQL, Apache project, notice it has up here directions. It tells you basically to open up this file here, the whole hello world, follow the instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Notice it creates a new tab over here. To close that tab, I can just close it. I'll double click on to show you again. So it has in here basic HTML with PHP wrapper and an echo of hello world. It tells us to run, just hit the run project and then choose the file at the bottom here to see our web server, and then click on the appropriate file. So we'll go and click the Run Project. Down here at the bottom in the Apache and PHP tab, you'll notice Starting PHP, HTTP Serving, this link here. If you click on it and click Open, it's going to take you to the root of the web server. Now my web server for my username here is, this is the name of the project, by the way, the workspace test dash, and then username .c9users.io. So that's the format of yours as well. So you'll notice the root of my Apache web server and all the files that are in there. The one I'm wanting to look at though is this one here. So if I click on that, it shows me that file. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab and show you another way to run it. You can right click on the file on the left side, select run, What it'll do is generate a link now specifically to that file. I'll click on that link here, click open, and it goes right to the file. So while you're testing your PHP, you can actually, in live mode, um, make changes. And then those changes should correspond on the live test side. All right. This link, by the way, can be shared with others as long as the server's running. So that would mean it's running now. They can run that URL and test it while the app's running. But when you turn off the app or turn off the Apache server, I'll go ahead and stop it. Go back to that link, and you'll notice nothing works. Okay, I turn it back on, go back to that link. Now it's back up and running. So it's basically like physically having your own web server in a virtual mode. So when you're finished with your files and say you wanted to store these and back them up, your projects that you're working on here, say your final project, or even maybe you start doing your labs in here or something, which by the way, I will be showing you how to set up a MySQL database in C9.io. I'll probably showing that next week. But for right now, we'll pretend that this is your final app for the class, your final website. You can, for backing up purposes, or say you use this to do your weekly assignments here in a few weeks, which you can definitely do. Because one of the benefits of using C9 is you can develop from anywhere that has a web browser and just open up your workspace. We'll pretend this could be your Web 234 workspace, and in here could be all of your week by week folders. You click on a folder and you're finished with it for, like, say, week 6, week 7. You right click on the folder, say download, click download. What that's going to do is going to put it in a compressed file with that name of the folder, .tar. This TAR is just a normal compression file format that I can extract, but you can submit that file to me for your weekly assignments if you wanted to do that. Um, the other thing is your final assignment that you'll be doing, your final lab, your final site. You'll be creating your final site in C9. I know some of you chose other sites already, or you're using the one I gave you the first semester. This, I believe, is going to be much easier to use because everything's easy to implement, and I'll have access to all of your workspaces. I think it's just going to work better. Okay. So to get back to where you were, you'll notice I'm going to close out these tabs I had open earlier. And once you're finished, with this, I'm going to collapse that there. You can stop your workspace, and then that's done. And what I generally do is just type in my URL up here, c9.io, because I'm still logged in. It'll take me back to my workspace, and that's the one. You come back later, you click open, and then that workspace is going to be there. You'll notice two tabs are here, your actual C9 workspace and the web workspace you just opened up. In the workspace environment here, you'll also see a RVC Web Devs, and right now that's the only thing that's in there is um, a space I just created, has nothing in it right now. And then you'll see yours, which this is mine here, my test one I'm showing you, and all the other students you'll be able to access as well. And so, hope you enjoy it. C9.io. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or post in the discussion. And that concludes the tutorial for C9.io.